What about Operation Northwoods?
Well,
tell us about what the military wanted JFK to do in Miami in order to get rid of Castro.
Well, the military wanted to use our CIA and the Joint Chiefs wanted to use our CIA and military to attack certain parts of the United States and make it look like Castro did it so that the country would get up in arms and support an invasion of Cuba.
And the idea was to have U.S. personnel from the CIA and other places secretly create terrorism in the United States. The documents actually said people would be shot on American streets, bombs would be blown up. And again, all this, the evidence would be laid to point the finger at Castro.
Operation Northwoods, a 1962 CIA secret plan that was declassified a few years ago. At that time, the United States was trying to regain control of Cuba, which had been lost to Fidel Castro's revolution 3 years before. Under the subject, Justifications for a Military Intervention in Cuba, we can read the following proposals. We could blow up a U.S. ship in Guantanamo Bay and blame Cuba. We could blow up a drone, unmanned vessel anywhere in the Cuban waters. We could arrange to cause such incident in the vicinity of Havana or Santiago as a spectacular result of a Cuban attack from the air or sea or both. The U.S. could follow up with an air-sea rescue operation covered by U.S. fighters to evacuate remaining members of the non-existent crew. Casualties lists in U.S. newspapers would cause a helpful wave of national indignation. We could develop a communist Cuban terror campaign in the Miami area, in other Florida cities, and even Washington. We could sink a boatload of Cubans en route to Florida, real or simulated. We could foster attempts on lives of Cuban refugees even to the extent of wounding, in instances to be widely publicized. Hijacking attempts against civil air and surface craft should appear to continue as harassing measures condoned by the government of Cuba. And then there was this interesting idea. It is possible to create an incident which will demonstrate convincingly that a Cuban aircraft has attacked and shot down a chartered civil airliner en route from the United States to Jamaica, Guatemala, Panama, or Venezuela. An aircraft at Eglin Air Force Base would be painted and numbered as an exact duplicate for a civil registered aircraft belonging to a CIA proprietary organization in the Miami area. At a designated time, that duplicate will be substituted for the actual civil aircraft and would be loaded with the selected passengers, all boarded under carefully prepared aliases. The actual registered aircraft would be converted to a drone. Takeoff times of the drone aircraft and the actual aircraft would be scheduled to allow a rendezvous south of Florida. From the rendezvous point, the passenger-carrying aircraft will descend to minimum altitude and go directly into an auxiliary field at Eglin Air Force Base, where arrangements will have been made to evacuate the passengers and return the aircraft to its original status. What happens to those passengers is not clear. The drone aircraft, meanwhile, will continue to fly the filed flight plan. When over Cuba, the drone would be transmitting on the international distress frequency a Mayday message stating it is under attack by Cuban MiG aircraft. The transmission will be interrupted by the destruction of the aircraft, which would be triggered by a radio signal.